Hello and welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpse of South Asia. I'm your host Shivangi Mishra. Here are the headlines. China-US's diplomatic battle for Nepal continues. Floods continue to batter life across illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. And Navratri festival begins in India with prayers. Let's begin the show. Nepal, sandwiched country between two Asian giants with two different ideologies, finds itself at a crossroads in rapidly shifting multipolar global order. And while its neighbor China has been trying to expand both its political and strategic footprints in the country, Washington's financial support to the Himalayan nation is being seen as another inevitable geopolitical standoff. Will the country succumb to the dragon's death trap policy, or will Nepal embrace a vibrant democratic ethos and build its own future on its own terms? We take a closer look.
Nepal walks a tightrope as competitive diplomatic maneuvers between China and the United States intensify in its small but strategically significant location. The tug-of-war between the two major economic and military powers aimed at augmenting influence in the Himalayan nation intensified as a large Chinese delegation visited Kathmandu recently. The joint statement released post-extensive talks suggested that meetings were largely focused on the Nepal general elections, scheduled to be held later in the year. In what has been highlighted by many as undermining Nepal's sovereignty, Beijing has managed to persuade Kathmandu to sign an agreement which will allow China to keep a close and constant vigil over Nepal's legislative and governing standpoints. Experts say China is also concerned about the declining dominance of the communist parties in the country. In order to achieve its long-term objectives and advance its expansionist ambitions, Beijing wants to see a government in power in Kathmandu that is in line with its ideological leanings.
China appears concerned that Nepal's communist parties may lose elections and may lose their, standing in the power dynamics and may lose their position in the parliament, where they were the largest party during the last elections. So I think it's quite worried about November elections.
On the other hand, the United States has become increasingly involved in the Himalayan nation. The United States' $500 million USD assistance under the Millennium Challenge Compact, which was ratified by the Nepal Parliament recently, is a major setback to China's overly intrusive diplomacy. The grant assistance of $500 million USD would be used to strengthen Nepal's energy transmission and road development projects. This particular development has rung alarm bells in China's power corridors. Since then, China has shown a special interest in Nepalese issues. In the recent delegation-level bilateral engagement, China pledged to expeditiously pursue projects related to the BRI, or Belt and Road Initiative. Deemed as the modern-day Silk Road, these projects were signed as far back as 2017, but have yet to see the light of day.
There was a kind of exchange of words between China and USA when there was Nepal was debating whether or not to ratify MCC, or just recently whether or not to join the US State Partnership Program, SPP. So the Chinese leaders are coming in and trying to nose and trying to take Nepal and Nepali leaders into confidence more now than ever before.
Experts have opined that China has devised a two-pronged strategy to counter a possible American diplomatic consolidation in Nepal. 1. China will unleash information warfare tactics against Washington. 2. It will pursue Nepalese political developments in order to have who China considers to be favorable leaders at the helm of affairs in the country. The general elections in November will be crucial to the future course of diplomacy. However, the tide doesn't seem to be favoring Beijing. With its debt trap diplomacy receiving negative publicity and its missions in different countries facing a popular backlash, there is no denying that China is responsible for some major investments in Nepal and other similar small, underdeveloped countries. However, the loans China provides are tagged with massive interest rates, which eventually result in countries falling into the never-ending debt loop. Sri Lanka has suffered the consequences. Experts predict that Pakistan might meet a similar fate. In such circumstances, one can only hope that Kathmandu somehow preempts China's moves and turns to more reliable, open, and democratic alternatives like the United States and India.
Next, we move on to Jammu and Kashmir, where the preparation of hybrid vegetable seedlings in high-tech polyhouses is going on in full swing. As the Agriculture Department is determined to give a major boost to vegetable cultivation in the Kashmir Valley, it has resorted to the production of high-quality seedlings.
Sowing operation of vegetable seedlings in full swing under kitchen garden scheme in the valley. To enhance the quality and increase the productivity of vegetables produced in the valley, the hybrid vegetable seedlings are being prepared in large quantities at Lal Mandi in Srinagar. A hybrid is created by crossing two different varieties of the same plant. Crossing involves taking the pollen from the male flower of one plant and transferring it to the female flower parts of a different plant. The purpose of this sowing process of seedlings is to prepare quality vegetable seedlings that will be distributed among the growers in the month of October at subsidized rates.
बेसिक मोटिव जो हमारा है किचन गार्डन स्कीम का सर, लोगों तक टाइम पे अच्छी सीडलिंग और गुड क्वालिटी सीडलिंग पहुंचाना। आज हमारा ये जो ऑपरेशन है, ये जो हमारा अपकमिंग रबी सीज़न आ रहा है सर, ऑटम में, तो उसके लिए गुड क्वालिटी सीडलिंग प्रोड्यूस करना, जिसमें हमारी प्राथमिकता है कैश क्रॉप्स, जो आज हम रेड कोरल ओनियन की सोइंग कर रहे हैं, या जो बाकी सोइंग और जो सीडलिंग्स हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट की जो आपने अभी तक यहाँ देखी भी होंगी। तो यही है सर, ये सब कुछ चल रहा है सर हमारा, ताकि टाइमली फार्मर्स तक हम पहुँच सकें जो उनकी ज़रूरतें हैं और उनको अच्छा और डिजीज़ फ्री क्वालिटी प्रोड्यूस यहाँ से मिले सर।
High-tech polyhouses have been brought to use by the Agriculture Department Kashmir to prepare these hybrid vegetable seedlings. They will help to upscale the cropping intensity of vegetable seedlings under controlled conditions. The quality sapling material will then be provided to growers, especially kitchen garden lovers in Kashmir, which will help to give boost to their income. Many labourers are busy with the sowing process of hybrid vegetable seeds aimed to prepare the seedlings at the proper time.
बहुत ही मेहनत चल रही है। पिछले 2-3 महीनों से हम यहाँ पर अच्छी तरीके से जो काम कर रहे हैं। पिछले अगस्त से जो हमने सीडलिंग दी, उस वक्त हमने कॉलीफ्लावर और कैबेज की सीडलिंग दी। उसके बाद हमने सेकंड शिफ्ट में GMDR साग दे दिया। अब यहाँ पर बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से नेक्स्ट सीडलिंग के लिए काम चल रहा है, जिसमें हम ओनियन की सीड की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। उसमें हम पहले यहाँ पर ज़मीन तैयार करते हैं, उसको पूरी तरीके से तैयार करने के बाद हम यहाँ पर जो बीज लगाते हैं वो हमने लगा दिया है।
आज हम ओनियन का लगा रहे हैं, यानी प्याज का लगा रहे हैं, और तो इसमें पहले सोइंग वगैरह करते हैं, उसके बाद सीड लगाते हैं। सीड लगाने के बाद फिर घास वगैरह डालते हैं इसके ऊपर, तो फिर घास डालने के बाद फिर थोड़ी सी हल्की सी मिट्टी वगैरह डालते हैं, और हम इसके बाद मतलब साग लगाते हैं, साग का सीड लगाते हैं या गाजर का सीड लगाते हैं। उसकी प्रिपरेशन यहाँ पे हो रही है। अपनी तरफ से हम जी जान लगा के मेहनत करते हैं ताकि अच्छा सा मतलब अच्छी सी पनीरी मिले लोगों को, और हाई क्वालिटी का सीड होना चाहिए ताकि लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फ़ायदा मिले।
For the last few years, since the department started these exercises, growers are utilizing these vegetable seedlings prepared by experts of the Agriculture Department on a large scale, as they are getting good results in the shape of a quality vegetable crop. With such controlled environment, these polyhouses are able to grow 3 times more hybrid vegetable saplings, due to which farmers will be able to avail them the entire year, even during the off-season.
Now let's take a look at a few happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Japan's famous Tokyo Game Show 2022 was organized after a span of 3 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a platform where visitors can play games using virtual reality and motion technology. Around 605 different companies from 37 countries and regions displayed a wide variety of electronic games. Previously, the Tokyo Game Show introduced video games that were connected to the television, followed by portable games and online games using the internet. The introduction of virtual reality games is the latest addition to the list. One of the characteristics of this game show is the exhibition of products in the environment where users play games. A major Japanese furniture maker, Navratri, is aiming for a business opportunity. The Tokyo Game Show is a major contribution to the growth of the Japanese gaming industry. The world's leading Japanese game industry continues to expand its business by developing games using the latest technology for all ages. On the newly rehabilitated Farhidi Cultural and Book Street, bookworms and passers-by can now admire a series of wooden book kiosks, outdoor lighting and pavement beautifying the cultural stroll in Iraq's southern city of Basra. Isra Taha Hassan, a researcher from Basra also selling books on the street, said the street was not born out of nothing. Born in 2015, Farhidi Street had long suffered from underdevelopment. Booksellers that previously had to walk longer distances to access their storage and endure oftentimes difficult weather conditions while on site now have wooden kiosks to work from. The logistics industry is paying attention to technology that automates work. Automation technology can bring efficiency and solve challenges that Japanese industries face. The Tsubaki Moto chain is an industrial chain that supports Japanese manufacturing. The know-how of generating power, cultivated in its long history, contributes to the technology of full automation. This industrial arm-type robo uses image processing and AI technology to identify uneven packages and efficiently pick them up. The fusion of the spirit of manufacturing and the latest technology of AI will evolve logistics technology. Thirteen giant panda cubs born in 2022 made their public debut at a breeding base in southwest China's Sichuan province ahead of the upcoming National Day on October 1st. The adorable baby pandas, forming Arabic numerals 7 and 3 that marks the 73rd anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, greeted the public in front of the Sun Delivery Room of the Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding on Wednesday. According to zookeepers, 15 giant panda cubs, including 4 pairs of twins, were born in the breeding base so far this year, with the largest birth weight of 218.5 grams. Living in the sun or moon delivery rooms, all of them grew up healthy and strong, with the heaviest currently weighing about 6 kilograms, keepers said, adding that panda cubs will be allowed to play outdoors soon and meet the visitors again.
The people living in the illegally occupied territory of Gilgit-Baltistan are suffering due to the government's negligence and oppressive policies. While floods have battered life across the illegally occupied region, authorities have failed to provide them with the necessary help. The aftermath of floods has resulted in the destruction of wheat crops and has made the region vulnerable to landslides. We have a report.
People in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan are leading a miserable life due to the destruction of the wheat crops in the region. The majority of the locals rely on the production of wheat for their livelihood. However, wheat harvests in the area have been wiped out by the region's heavy rains and flooding. Amid all this, when people are in immense grief, the subsidy cut on wheat and tax hikes by the authorities is rubbing salt on their wounds. Local residents have been pleading for help, but the authorities, who are brazenly discriminatory when it comes to the people of this occupied region, have turned a deaf ear.
सबसे बढ़कर सर हमारे अरकारी का आप सबको पता है कि एक ही फसल होता है पूरे सीजन का, वो गंदुम है। हमारे गंदम जितने भी हैं वो सारे ख़राब हो चुके हैं। हमारे मल मवेशी के जितने भी चारा बाहर पड़े हुए थे वो सारे ख़राब हो चुके हैं, क्योंकि हमारा एक ही फसल होता है। ये हमारा पूरा इन्हिसार इन्हीं ज़रात के ऊपर होता है सर। हम तकरीबन 8 महीने अपनी खुराक इसी गंदम वगैरह से अपनी ज़रूरत पूरा कर सकते हैं। तो इसी साल इन बारिशों की वजह से हमारे तकरीबन ये पूरे अरकारी ये तकरीबन 15 गाँव पर मुश्तमिल है, छोटे बड़े 15 गाँव हैं। ये गुजारिश है कि हमारी मदद की जाए, जो भी हो किसी तरह से भी हमारी मदद की जाए, ताकि हम जो ग़िज़ाई किल्लत से महफूज रख सकें।
Damaged walls and cracked land can be seen all around following the recent spell of heavy rains in Ishkomand Tehsil of district Gezer. Scores of people who were forced to relocate to makeshift shelters following the catastrophic rains of 2010 have returned to their homes. There too, getting through each day is a challenge in itself. The government had assured them of reconstructed homes after declaring their residences unsafe and the area hazardous. However, none of the 35 households has received a tile worth of renovations since that time. They are constantly living under a shadow of fear, but these plights appear to be insufficient for the authorities to take notice of the situation.
हुकूमत पाकिस्तान से गुजारिश है और सूबे के लीडरान से गुजारिश है, 2010 से ये ज़मीन दाइन गोछार का ये सरक रही थी और इस मानसून में हालिया मानसून के दौरान इसने तेज़ी इख्तियार किया सरकने में। तो हमें हुकूमत से अपील है तो इसके बाद अल्लाह के लिए हमारा गौरसी करे।
The successive governments in Gilgit-Baltistan have just passed the ball from one court to another and have failed miserably in realizing the demands of the local people. Even after decades of control over the region, Pakistan continues to accord a stepmotherly treatment to the people of the region. For Islamabad, they are second-class citizens who do not deserve any rights. Yes, you heard that right. Not any, not even the fundamental ones.
India's colourful culture is at its best during the 9-day-long Navratri celebrations that has begun across the country. Celebrated in the bright half of the Hindu calendar month Ashwin, which typically falls in the Gregorian months of September and October, Navratri is one of the most revered festivals in the Hindu religion. Though the festival is being celebrated in different ways, the core reason behind the celebration remains the same. That is, the victory of good over evil. Let's take a look at this year's Navratri celebration.
Devotees across India throng temples as the Hindu festival of Navratri, or the festive 9 nights, has begun in the country with religious fervour. Navratri, derived from the ancient Sanskrit words 9 nights, is being celebrated this year from September 26th to October 5th. Moreover, millions of devotees swarm temples to offer prayers and observe fasts as part of an occasion that is dedicated to all 9 forms of Goddess Durga, the destroyer of evil. In Jammu and Kashmir's Katra town, the Vaishno Devi shrine is seeing a heavy rush of pilgrims who are turning up in large numbers to offer prayers and seek blessings.
ये 2-3 साल से रेगुलर आते हमारे गांव के 10-12 बंदे आते और दर साल हम ऐसा नया ऊर्जा और नया उमंग लेके आते हैं और दर साल एकदम बहुत ही खुश होता दिल से और पूरे साल भर उसकी एनर्जी रहती है। तो आज का दिन ही क्यों चुना गया? आज का पूरा साल से हम आज के दिन का इंतजार करते हैं।
Navratri is a significant Hindu festival celebrated over 9 nights and 10 days, during which 9 forms of the goddess Durga are worshipped. During the sacred period of Navratri, people observe fasts and some restrict their diet to fruits and vegetables, spurning meat, onions and garlic. The temples are beautifully decorated with flowers, leaves, petals, lights and the priests ornate idols of goddess Durga with new clothes and jewelry. Devotees queued up outside the Jhandewala temple in New Delhi to seek the blessings of goddess Durga, where the priests performed special rituals in front of the idols.
यहाँ का दुर्गा जी का बहुत महत्व है। यहाँ की 9 दिन परमानेंट पूजा होती रहती है यहाँ पे, और श्रद्धा लोग श्रद्धा पूजा पाठ करते हैं यहाँ पे। 9 दिन चहल पहल बनी रहती है।
During the festivities, couples dressed up their children and some older boys in bright shiny monkey attires in India's Amritsar city as a token of respect to the Lord Hanuman for blessing them with a male child. The Langur Mela was celebrated in conjunction with the 9-day Hindu festival of Navratris to appease Lord Hanuman and seek blessings for a healthy and long life for young boys. Kids were decked up by their parents in gold and silver designer clothes. They also carried a colourful staff and wore makeup to highlight their features.
बच्चे को लंगूर बनाया जाता है, जैसे जिसकी कोई सुखना वगैरह होती है, जिसके घर में बेटा वगैरह नहीं होता है, तो वो हनुमान जी से अपने बेटे के लिए औलाद के लिए ना औलाद प्राप्ति के लिए भगवान जी से मन्नत मांगते हैं। तो कई वैसे ही बना देते हैं बच्चे को, कई खुशी से, लेकिन मैंने तो बच्चे को सुखना से बनाया। भगवान जी ने मेरे घर में लड्डू गोपाल जी दिए हैं।
According to Hindu mythology, Goddess Durga represents power, the feminine force which guides and destroys all evil on earth. The festival is all about the annual visit of the goddess Durga with her children to the ancestral home on earth. Navratri culminates on the 10th day, coinciding with the Dashera festival with the killing of demon king Ravan, signifying the victory of good over evil.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We will be back at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.